If you're in search of the best footprint chart software that actually gives you a real edge, pay close attention because these tools may look similar on the surface, but under the hood, they're built for completely different types of traders. I tested Bookmap, MotiveWave, and TradingView side by side, and each promises to inspire insight, but only one actually changed how I trade. So stick around because the feature that did it, you won't see it coming. But before I jumped into the features and tools that changed everything in my trading journey, let me start with what I did first, before I ever even tested any of the footprint chart softwares. So I learned the hard way. Before trying any new trading software, I head straight for the worst reviews first, because if something's going to break or disappoint, it usually shows up there first. And when I looked into Bookmap, I found one review that caught my attention. One user said that he paid for the software and couldn't use it for 2 full days due to onboarding delays. He also complained that support was slow. Now, that would frustrate anyone, especially if you're eager to trade right away. But when I looked into this issue, I found that it's more of a one-off situation than a common situation with more people. The majority of traders here actually mentioned that Bookmap's install process is really smooth. So it might be a technical bottle end on a busy day, looking at the broader picture or some other issue. Because when I looked at the broader picture, Bookmap holds a 4.6 out of 5-star rating, which is pretty solid. And if you're still wondering whether it's worth the patience, one trader said that Bookmap was the best order flow software he'd used in 30 years. So, another trader said it completely shifted how he trades after 3 years of trying every strategy out there. So a lot of different people here have some great feedback. All right, now looking into MotiveWave, one user complained that the software required annual updates that you had to pay for, which made it unusable for him unless he paid again. He also said that it ran slower than other systems that he'd used. But MotiveWave's support team actually clarified that 1 year of updates and support is included with your license, and future updates are totally optional. Meanwhile, MotiveWave does have its fans. One longtime investor here said that it's the most flexible software that he's used in 30 years. Another Mac user said it worked flawlessly for him across crypto and futures. So yeah, some love it. Now for TradingView, this is probably the most debated. One reviewer who had paid a year in advance complained that TradingView kept changing what features were included in each pricing tier. Basically, he felt like the rug kept being pulled out from under him. And I think that's a valid concern. No one likes buying access to one thing and seeing it disappear weeks later. But I think that's also not the norm. I've been on TradingView for years, and while some features have shifted, it hasn't really affected my core workflow. And another premium user said it's one of the easiest platforms to use, and he was really happy with it, that he prepaid for 3 years. 3. All right. That tells you, I think, that the platform really still delivers where it counts. So bottom line, each platform has its critics, but the majority experience for both of these tells a more balanced story, I think. But now let's talk about what really makes or breaks these best footprint chart software options. I think starting with Bookmap, this is where things get serious. Bookmap isn't just a footprint chart trading tool. It's a visual map of market intent. Its market depth visualization blew me away the first time I used it. You're not just watching candles or price bars, you're watching the actual order book in real time. So that means that you can see where do big players place their orders, where do they cancel them, or where do they stack up liquidity. And when you combine that with the ability to trade directly from the chart, it takes precision to a whole new level. I tested this on a futures account connected through Bookmap, and the execution felt incredibly smooth, no need to jump between platforms. Then there's Multibook. If you trade crypto or futures across multiple exchanges, this is a killer feature. Multibook lets you combine order book data from different exchanges into one chart. That way, you see total market activity and no more blind spots that you miss. Add-ons Manager is another quiet win. Older versions of Bookmap made you download files manually, but now you just install add-ons in a couple of clicks. It's a small change, but it streamlines everything. And if you're running a trading desk or a firm, the Bookmap Quant solution integrates with proprietary data and indicators. I haven't used that personally, but for prop firms and HFT desks, that's a big deal. But if Bookmap is all about visual depth, MotiveWave brings something else to the table: hardcore customization and advanced wave theory. Here's what stood out. So this one is dense, but in a good way. The first feature I got deep into was its Elliott wave analysis. MotiveWave is practically built for this. If you're into advanced wave theory, this is where it shines. You can auto detect Elliott waves or build them manually, and it gives you the structure to break down even the most complex market movements. The depth of market panel also deserves mention. You can review and see the real-time bid-ask levels directly on the chart or in a separate DOM window. It's not quite as visual as Bookmap, but still very practical. And the charting tools, some of the best I've used. We're talking professional grade charting with multiple component overlays like channels, commentary, and markers. You can build out trade ideas visually and tweak every detail. I found it especially useful when I wanted to backtest price action strategies without all the clutter. Now, TradingView isn't trying to outmatch Bookmap or MotiveWave on complexity, but it delivers versatility in a way that surprised me. One of the highlights for me is the multi-chart layout. You can view several charts across timeframes or symbols, all within the same workspace. That makes it super easy to run comparisons or track correlated assets. TradingView's chart view mode is also great for focused sessions. You can isolate individual indicators or layouts for a cleaner look, and that's something I use often when prepping for high volatility events. And if you like replaying historical setups, their bar replay mode lets you trade past price action and test ideas in a simulated environment in the past. So it doesn't save your data from those sessions, but it's perfect for practice. One area where TradingView really stands out is the community aspect too. So you can share strategies, scripts, and some ideas with other people. I've actually discovered a few new approaches just by browsing public scripts. So if you're the type of trader who loves testing and learning from others, TradingView adds a whole new layer of collaboration that the others don't. Now, none of these platforms is perfect, and I run into quirks with all three. With Bookmap, if you're coming from a clean, simple charting tool, this will feel like jumping into the matrix. But once I adapted, I couldn't imagine trading without it. MotiveWave can feel intimidating at first. It took me a few sessions just to get comfortable navigating the layout, but once it clicks, it becomes a serious edge. And with TradingView, the feature gating across tiers is something to watch. It's not something that's happened often for me personally, but it can be annoying if a feature you rely on suddenly becomes premium only. Still, even the free version offers more than some paid tools that I've tried. But okay, now let's talk about pricing, because even the best tools are useless if they break your budget. And more importantly, I'll show you how to access the best value across all three. Bookmap is surprisingly reasonable for what it offers, especially if you go with their basic plan. If you're a pro or institutional trader, the advanced tiers are there, but you're getting tools built for a serious edge. MotiveWave's pricing is a bit more layered. You can choose between different editions depending on how deep you want to go, and TradingView is pretty accessible. There's a solid free version to get started, but if you want advanced alerts, indicators, or multi-chart layouts, you'll want one of their premium plans. We've included up-to-date pricing, links, and promos in the description down below so that you don't overpay. So check those out before you make a final call. So, which one gives you the edge? Honestly, it depends on how you trade. For pure visual order flow, Bookmap all day. For advanced TA and wave theory, MotiveWave is packed. And for versatility and ease of use, I think TradingView still dominates that field. I think the key is knowing what kind of trader you are and picking the tool that fits that. All right, links to all three are in the description, along with current discounts. If one of them changes the way you trade, like it did for me, that click might be the best move you make this week.